everyone. We are experiencing a very intense time in history. And I watch it happen when I talk to my family. I watch it happen when I talk to strangers. I am fully aware of the gravity of the situation, right? Every single room that I walk into is coated with this undeniable truth that the systems we live under need to function differently. And it seems as though people believe that because things have been the same for so long, that they will continue to be the same. And it's a really funny thing about some human beings that I run into, where they don't possess the ability to process a reality outside of their own. And I feel like this is what has happened in a lot of my relationships, where it's not that people can't understand and take context clues and maybe expand their worldview a little bit, but there's a safety in smallness. There's a safety in staying in a world that you understand. And I know, because I'm someone that doesn't move outside of her own comfort zone in the physical realm very often. I do it mentally. I do it in my own, secret way, in my own mind, where every conversation, every interaction needs to be questioned and rolled out on the table and inspected, truly, like utterly inspected. But I do that as a supplement to also trying to just be the most authentic version of myself all of the time. But that can be hard when you're balancing those two things. Regardless, it's just so interesting to me that in the general perspective of society, these skills that I've worked so hard to develop are not common. They're not something where I'm running into it often, right? That the people in my life that possess the ability to hold worldviews outside of their existing reality, right? The conceptualization of a future that's bigger than the one that they currently exist in. Apparently, it's a little bit more difficult to come by than I previously had thought. So when I have no advice. I really this is more just an observation of my own interactions with humans, and how I've noticed that there's a lot of people that want to live their lives free of the consequences of their own actions. And I don't mean in relationship. That's a very micro level of looking at the consequences of our actions. I'm talking on a massive level, right? What are the consequences of your actions under empire, under colonialism, under the fact that where you live might affect? Because if you have the time to watch this video and listen to me speak, then you likely live with an immense amount of privilege that gives you even the time and the space to consider who you are in the space of the universe, as opposed to what am I going to eat today? Where am I going to sleep tonight? So when you walk around with that immense amount of privilege and you do nothing with it, it's a little disappointing. It's a little disappointing, and it's a little embarrassing, frankly, that you walk around worried about things that have never mattered. Oh, what is my stylistic identity? You know what? That thing might make you happy right now. But if you don't adopt a more wide worldview, and you don't expand your own personal perception of how you operate in this world and how it affects the giant machine that we all contribute to in different ways, you will never understand that these identity games that we play and these aesthetic attributions that we place on ourselves and the personality of being a human being, like the idea that we all have personalities and the study of that. If you don't like look into the darker lens of that and you just use it for fun and for your own like ego, right? To set yourself apart from society as opposed to like joining yourself with it, it's all for naught. It is literally all for naught because you're selfish and you suck. But here's the thing. Those aspects of humanity are supposed to be hair that we use to braid ourselves together, right? We're supposed to be strands as one on the scalp of Earth, right? But we're all so concerned with our individual selves and how we operate day to day, as opposed to how do I operate and how does my personality and how does things that I like, how do those things fit into the grand scheme, the literal scheme that we exist in, by the way? How do those things exist in the scheme and how do they exist outside of the scheme? How can I use those aspects of myself as tools, this personality that I've sculpted and learned over time, because that's what you're doing as your beinghood, is you're learning yourself every single day. How can I use that as a tool for the larger like betterment of humanity? Not how can I use that tool to make myself look good, make myself feel good, make myself happy, keep my vibes high, whatever. I don't know your terminology. Your life is not about you. It's not. It's not about you. And any belief that your life, obviously, you got to keep yourself safe and alive. Those things are about you. But when your life is 100% about you, when you don't factor into every interaction, every purchase, every movement, every word, every second, you got to keep it in the back of your mind. How are my steps? How are my actions? How is my beinghood affecting the greater landscape? Because you don't want to be an invasive species. You don't want to be a weed. You don't want to be the part of the garden that no one likes to look at because it doesn't contribute to its neighbors. The garden was probably a bad metaphor, but you know what I mean. And if you don't, that's okay too. You'll know in your own time, or you'll never know. And maybe it's not your journey in this lifetime to understand. Maybe that's for the next one. But I'm being serious when I'm saying that we're running out of time for you to figure it out. You are running out of time to apply your divine purpose to the collective. The window is closing, okay? And we're going to get to a point where if you didn't do it now, good luck. I genuinely love every single one of you. I genuinely, and so I say it with love. Stop thinking about yourself. Just stop it. It's so tired. Anyway, love you. Good night. Sleep well. Eat well. And please, 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 enjoy some silence from time to time.